Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the hottest teams in the National Football League, in the San Francisco 49ers, led by their number one rated defense. The eye test, also definitely number one. We have a fun fact here from ESPN. The 49ers have held their opponents to 70 or fewer rushing yards in 7 straight games, tied with the 2000 Ravens for the longest single season streak since 1933. Charvarius Ward, Nick Bosa is definitely depoy to me, no questions asked. But since 2018, Charvarius Ward has allowed the lowest completion rate in the NFL with just 51.6. He's also forced the highest tight window target rate at 34.6. So defensively, they're firing on all cylinders. And for a team that started 3-4, what they're doing right now is absolutely astonishing. It really is. They've won 7 straight games ever since CMC got back, or arrived to San Francisco, I should say. They're taking down really good playoff teams, or at least playoff capable teams. Like, they completely embarrassed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past Thursday in Seattle, which is one of the hardest places to play in the entire NFL. They won that game. They took down Miami. They took down the Chargers. They're just winning football games right now. Brock Purdy has been a huge reason, but to me, Christian McCaffrey was and is the difference maker to this offense. It's just adding another weapon. Deebo Samuel, he should be good to go come playoff time, but you also have George Kittle. CMC, in the 7 games as the starting running back, he has 818 scrimmage yards, which is 4th in the league, 7 touchdowns, tied for 5th, 257 yards after catch, good for 4th, 45 first downs, which is 2nd among non-quarterbacks. For the season, he's looking at 1,550 total scrimmage yards, good for 3rd in the league, 10 touchdowns, which is top 10, 647 yards after catch, good for 3rd, and 78 first downs, good for 2nd in the league. So to me, he's a huge difference maker, especially with the loss of Elijah Mitchell. But don't forget about guys like Jordan Mason. He pretty much sealed the deal, sealed that victory Thursday night against Seattle. He's currently averaging 6.6 yards per attempt. 6.6 yards per attempt. Don't forget about Brandon Aiyuk as well. We'll talk about it a little later on in the video. But if you guys are new here, hit the like button, hit that sub button. I do post daily NFL content along with at least a couple times a week San Francisco. If you've been watching this channel the last couple of weeks, my Super Bowl prediction is no questions asked, San Francisco versus Cincinnati. And that game could honestly be a coin flip. Those two teams, Cincinnati and San Francisco, are the 2 hottest teams in the NFL right now. Brock Purdy has done a phenomenal job. I think a great word to describe him, or a great couple of words to describe him, is he's just an athlete. I think he's a winner, and I think he really is just an athlete. He's a winner. He makes the throws when he needs to make the throws. Yeah, there are some times, we've seen it more so before he came in with the starting job, where, sometimes he'll try and force a throw or just make, a mistake. But for a rookie, mistakes are going to happen. The last 2 weeks, Miami, Seattle, he's done a phenomenal job. He's done more than enough. And like I said, the addition of CMC just adds a complete other X factor, but it's not like it's just CMC. You also have Jordan Mason. Looking at the wide receiver room, you're also pretty loaded there. Brandon Aiyuk, like I said, Deebo Samuel should be back by the end of the season. He is also another X factor, also another playmaker. I do want to see a little bit more Brandon Aiyuk. We saw him just kind of tear apart offense or defenses in the first half of the season. With Brock Purdy, we haven't necessarily seen anything crazy, but Brock Purdy and the Niners offense really hasn't had to do anything crazy in the last couple of weeks. Like, they've pretty much just kept their foot on the gas, taking down Tampa Bay, taking down Seattle, taking down Miami. But Brandon Aiyuk on the season, 60 receptions, 774 yards, and 7 touchdowns. You got Aiyuk, you got Samuel, you got George Kittle, you got CMC. If Brock Purdy can just do what Brock Purdy's doing, that defense is going to keep you in every single football game. Regardless, they're going to keep you in every single football game. They have not had a hiccup defensively since that game against Kansas City, their last loss, which was months ago. It was actually 2 whole months ago. So looking at the rest of the season, you got Washington. Now, Washington should be an interesting opponent. You are at home. It is on Christmas Eve. We got a loaded slate on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day for the NFL this season, which is awesome. I love to see it because usually the basketball games on Christmas Day aren't that great. But Christmas Eve at home against the Commanders, Washington's fighting for their life right now. They're fighting to stay alive in the playoff run, so they'll give them a hard time. Brock Purdy, just do Brock Purdy things. That defense should be able to hold Washington to less than 20 points. The last time they gave up actually 20 points was all the way 2 months ago against the Kansas City Chiefs in their last loss. So after that, you go to Vegas. Vegas is another one of those teams. We'll see how they play Pittsburgh also on Christmas Eve, because if they lose that game, their season's over. It's just completely over, but I think they'll win that game. So you have your next two opponents with teams just fighting to stay alive. So they're going to be hungry. So those are going to be two fun games to watch for San Francisco as we kind of just continue to see what Brock Purdy and this offense can do, along with their stellar defense. Once again, Nick Bosa is depoy to me, no questions asked. And you finally finish it up against your divisional opponent in the Arizona Cardinals, which Arizona's had just a brutal season right now. I don't anticipate they'll have any issues with that game. So unfortunately for San Francisco, although you have won 7 straight and you are 10-4, it's looking like most likely you're not going to be able to get that 1 seed because Philadelphia is just on the next level. Jalen Hurts is injured. That's something to note, but most likely San Francisco, I don't think they'll be able to catch up to Philly. They should be able to get, at least one more victory. So if they're at home, if San Francisco's at home, I would not want to play them. I don't want to play this team in general. And I think that game against Seattle on the road, Seattle, another team that's just they're fighting to stay alive. That was a big time game for them. Now, unfortunately for Seattle, they're out of the wild card. So they got a long way to come. But you could argue the season's kind of on the line on a week-to-week basis. So getting that road win, it really showed me a lot. It showed me how resilient Brock Purdy and this Niners team is in general. They make plays offensively and defensively. They're extremely well coached. And for me, just keep building that momentum. And most importantly, get and stay healthy. And San Francisco should be just fine heading into the playoffs. So let me know what you guys are thinking. As always, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Niners fans, let me know what you guys are thinking about this team down below. I'll see you guys later.